Hello, my name is Anushka Janju and I just want to tell you that your channel is just amazing. Your explanations are superb, interesting, and with your videos I don't have any doubts left in my mind. Your videos are just fun way to learn. Thank you so much and keep posting your videos.
We begin today's video, children, with adaptation in animals. Now, in order to survive in a particular kind of a habitat, animals make different adaptations in their self, in their body, that can be structural as well as functional, so that they can easily adapt themselves to the different kind of a habitat where they are found. The adaptations seen in animals are of following types: aquatic, terrestrial, arboreal, and aerial. We begin with the first one, that is aquatic adaptation. Now, aquatic adaptation in animals is found, and that is known as hydroceles. Aquatic animals are adapted in such a way so that they can stay and grow in water. Now, aquatic animals, you know, children, they are the animals that can survive very well, and they are found in water only, in water bodies that can be marine as well as fresh water. The aquatic organisms show adaptation for buoyancy in water and against decaying. That means they can float easily in water, they can stay alive in water without their body getting damaged. Otherwise, if you keep something for too long in water, children, you will find it starts decaying. But the bodies of the aquatic animals does not undergo any kind of decay. Why? Because there are certain adaptations that are found in aquatic animals. That is what we are going to see. First is body is streamlined and spindle shaped so that to offer least resistance to water. Now, streamlined means, children, it is pointed at both the ends. The anterior and the posterior part is pointed, and it is quite thick in the middle. This kind of a shape, like an eye. See, this kind of a shape is known as streamline. It is pointed at both the ends, and it is quite broad in the center. Then the body of these animals are covered with waterproof scales and a mucus coat. Now, these waterproof scales and the mucus coat does not let the animal's body or the skin gets decayed in water. Some animals develop special covering like a shell or a cuticle or a waxy coating, which will all protect them against the body getting decayed. The respiration in such animals takes place with the help of gills. Now, take a picture of a fish in your mind, children. You must have seen the gills in the body of a fish, right? So, these gills help in the process of respiration because they can easily absorb the oxygen which is dissolved in water. Locomotion means moving from one place to another. Locomotion or swimming is done with the help of fins. In fishes, children, you will find a lot of fins are there. Then in the frog, they have a webbed feet. The tail fin acts as a rudder. That is, it can help to steer the body of a fish by changing the direction. Now, some fishes that are basically the bony fishes are provided with the air bladders also, children. This air bladder helps them to stay their current water depth without having to waste energy in swimming. Now, these air bladders help these animals, these fishes basically, that when they go in the depth of the water and they don't have to waste their energy in swimming, they can just stay there in the water floating without swimming or without moving from one place to another. Hair or skin glands like the sweat glands or the oil glands are not found in these animals. Now see, this is a picture of a fish, children. It is showing the fins. Now these are the fins, children, the dorsal fin, pelvic fin, pectoral fin. All these fins help in moving or swimming of the fish in the water. Now this tail fin over here helps to change the direction of the movement of the fish. These are, children, these. Over here, these are known as the gills, which helps in respiration. So, this is the structure of a body of a fish. Next, we come to, children, the xeric conditions in the desert animals. Now there are certain conditions, there are certain adaptations that are also seen in the desert animals so that they can easily survive in the xeric conditions. The adaptations in desert animals are to facilitate them so that they can withstand the severe heat and water scarcity. You know that the heat in the deserts is too much and there is very less water that is available. The desert rat and the snakes may deep burrows which offers them a cool and a moist home during the daytime. When the desert is hot and dry. Now when during the daytime the desert becomes very hot and dry, these desert rats and snakes, they make deep burrows inside the soil and they go and hide there so that it offers them a cool and a moist atmosphere. During night when the deserts are cool, the animals come out of the deep burrows and holes and become active. So that is why they are known as the nocturnal animals. Now nocturnal animals are the animals, children, that are active during the night time. Like owl is also a nocturnal animal. Desert animals adapt their bodies to prevent the loss of water by perspiration. The camel is a xerocele. It can cover long distances without food and water as long as 10 days. Now camel, that is why it is known as the ship of the desert, children, because though it is used for transportation, why it is used for transportation in deserts is, children, because it has the ability to survive without food and water for maybe at a stretch of 10 days. There are many more adaptations that are found in camels. That is what we are going to see. Each foot has only 2 toes. Now each foot of a camel has only, children, 2 toes. Look at the picture. The only 2 toes are present in the camel's feet. Now while walking, the camel uses its entire foot. Its hooves are covered by a large sole. This helps them to move on hot slippery sand. And that way it can cover a distance of approximately 20 to 25 kilometers without food and water. Now the camel can live up to 10 to 12 days without food and water, that we have just seen. When water is available, it can drink as much as 50 liters in one go. That means whenever it will get the water supply, children, whenever it will get water, it will be able to drink as much as 50 liters at one time. This water gets evenly distributed in the tissues of its body. The hump on the back of a camel is actually the food reserve for the fat. Now see over here, this is the picture of the hump on the back of a camel. Now when the camel will get a lot of food to eat, the size of the hump will increase. And when it is not getting food for many days, the size of the hump will decrease, because this is a storehouse of fat. When it doesn't get food, it uses the fat which is stored over here. Very little water is excreted from its body when it does not get water. It passes out about half a liter of urine in one particular day. The fecal matter of the camel contains very little matter, and it is almost like a dry dung. Now because they are not getting a lot of water in the desert area, children, so whatever adaptations are there in the camel are in such a way that it can save a lot of water inside their body. So they even pass very less urine, as well as the fecal matter that comes out is almost dry. The breathing rate of a camel is also very slow so that it does not loses a lot of water. It can adjust its internal temperature and keep it higher than that of the surrounding. Now this is also one adaptation in camel, that they can maintain the internal body temperature higher than that of the surrounding. Due to this higher temperature of their body than the surrounding, the loss of moisture becomes nil. So they do not sweat. It has a slender snout which bears a cleft in the upper lip. It has long eyelashes and a muscular nostril. This can be closed to protect it from the wind-blown sand. Now here see the picture of it has long eyelashes so that when it closes it, the sand will not be able to go inside the eyes of the camel. And it has a muscular nostril. It closes its nostril again so that the sand is not able to move inside. So with this we come to an end of today's video, children, where I have tried to explain you the adaptation that are found in the xeroseles as well as in the fishes that are seen. Okay, thank you.